Tonight, the LGBT community responds to President Trump's transgender rollbacks.
A man is arrested in connection to several burglaries.
And a bomb is delivered to the home of George Soros.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Salvador Speraza.
And I'm Abby Budakavoli.
The term transgender could soon no longer be recognized by the federal government, and sex may be defined to just two genders, male and female. As the Trump administration reportedly working on announcing two rules to strictly define gender in America.
These rollbacks have given rise to a march on the White House and a hashtag won't be erased on social media. Andy Rose has the latest.
Trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human rights.
We will not be erased. That's the message protesters chanted as they marched outside the White House.
People are scared and they are angry.
Protections for people who identify as transgender put in place by the Obama administration may be rolled back by President Trump, according to a report by the New York Times.
They have a lot of different things happening with respect to transgender right now. You know that as well as I do, and we're looking at it very seriously.
The government is considering defining someone's sex as solely male or female, a biological and unchangeable condition determined by genitalia at birth, according to the Times. Any chance to change or dispute that would have to be clarified using genetic testing, regardless of how someone may choose to identify. An estimated 1.4 million people identify as transgender in America. President Trump says his administration is still looking at the way the government recognizes the gender of trans people.
I'm protecting everybody. You know what I'm doing? I'm protecting everybody. I want to protect our country.
Tell me what you want, what you really want.
Justice!
But the people who say they are threatened by this don't believe that the White House has their best interests at heart.
We are here. We are part of America. We always have been, and we always will be.
I'm Andy Rose reporting.
President Trump has a history of reversing many Obama-era policies, particularly among the LGBTQ community.
A SUNY Oswego storytelling class will shed some light on the school's history in their performance of A Night at the Oswego Town Rural Cemetery. This performance, under the direction of theater professor Jonelle Langfield, will feature many local historical figures connected with SUNY Oswego, such as Mary Walker, Harriet Tubman, and the school's founder, Edward Austin Sheldon. The performance will take place at the Oswego Town Rural Cemetery at 242 Cemetery Road this Friday at 6 p.m.
A Central Square man accused of a double homicide is set to undergo psychiatric evaluation. 33-year-old Matthew LaBeouf appeared in court on Monday over accusations into the murders of 59-year-old Michael P. Shane and 42-year-old Robert Diffin back in September. According to LaBeouf's mother, Victoria, Matthew has a psychological disorder and frontal lobe damage. According to LaBeouf's defense attorney, Mary Falasco, he has waived his right to a speedy trial, and her application for a mental health evaluation is under the support of the Oswego County District Attorney, Greg Oakes.
An arrest has been made in a connection to a string of burglaries in the town of DeWitt. According to the DeWitt Police Department, 21-year-old Shane Barber was arrested on Monday after being caught on surveillance video from several businesses he broke into or attempted to break into between Thursday and Monday. A search warrant of Barber's apartment was conducted where several proceeds from his burglaries were discovered. Barber is charged with 3 counts of third-degree burglary, 3 counts of third-degree criminal mischief, 1 count of fourth-degree grand larceny, and 1 count of petty larceny.
A Western New York activist wants to get rid of, quote, shameful statue of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Samuel Herbert has compiled more than 6,000 signatures to fully replace the 8-foot-tall bust of the civil rights leader. The statue was unveiled in 1983 and was shown to not resemble Dr. King. Herbert says, quote, our beef has never been with the sculptor, but the committee approved this shameful image of the great American. The original artist says the statue was originally supposed to be a representation and not a likeness. Herbert now wants to accumulate 10,000 signatures to start fundraising for a new sculpture in 2020.
The new Prosecutor Conduct Commission, which was signed by Governor Cuomo in August, is being sued by district attorneys across from the state. This commission is the first in the nation established to investigate claims of misconduct among prosecutors. The District Attorneys Association of the State of New York have filed a complaint to the Albany Supreme Court and are hoping to stop the commission from being created. According to Syracuse.com, the bill establishes an 11-member panel to review claims against district attorneys. The DA's group has called the bill unconstitutional.
An attempt on the life of George Soros was made when a pipe bomb was delivered to his suburban New York City residence. A package containing the bomb was discovered in the billionaire philanthropist's mailbox on Monday. Law enforcement says it was likely the explosive device was hand-delivered and not shipped through postal services. According to one of the officials, the 6-inch pipe filled with explosive powder was proactively detonated by a bomb squad after the discovery. Soros was not harmed in the incident. Officials say there have not yet been any claims of responsibility.
Coming up later tonight, a virus breaks out in New Jersey.
And Hurricane Willa makes its way towards Mexico. Now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Brittany Sparcero. Brittany?
Thanks, guys. I'm currently standing outside the Richard S. Shinman Center, and it is a bit cool and very breezy. Taking a look at our radar, you can see that the showers are in the vicinity tonight, but they're dissipating overnight. Taking a look at our current temperatures, you can see throughout our area they're in the mid to lower 40s, and tonight's low is also going to be in the mid to lower 40s. Coming up after the break, I'm going to have your full forecast.
Hey, good morning, James.
Morning.
James, wake up. It's Rise and Shine time. James, Rise and Shine. James, wake up. We're starting the show.
Good morning and welcome back to Rise and Shine at 9. I'm James Gattato here with your next update.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
If you think trains will stop if they see a car on the tracks, you're right. They will. About a mile after they hit you. Stop. Trains can't.
Hi, welcome back from the break. I'm Storm Team 10 meteorologist Brittany Sparcero. Looking at today's current temperatures, you can see across the region we're in the mid to upper 40s. And taking a look across of New York, you can see we're in the mid to upper 40s, except for in Olean, we're 36 degrees. Taking a look at current winds, you can see mainly across the region we're calm, except for across the Lake Ontario shorelines where we have gusts from 14 to 20 plus mile per hour winds. Taking a look at satellite and radar, you can see that we have some rain in our area, but it is supposed to be diminishing throughout the night. Taking a look in our futurecast, you can see that the rain is going to be with us tonight, and a heavy lake effect rain band is going to be there. Looking into Wednesday morning, you can see that we have some snow in parts of the southern tier of New York. Taking more look into Wednesday, you can see that the rain lingers throughout Oswego County into Syracuse. Taking a look at Thursday morning, you can see in our region there is still some snow scattered across New York. Taking a look in Thursday afternoon, you can see that our region is clear with some clouds back in the western New York. Taking a look into Thursday night, you can see the clouds push into our area, but we remain to stay dry. Taking a look at tonight, you can see we have a chance of showers in a low of 41 degrees with a wind northwest at 10 to 14 miles per hour. Taking a look at tomorrow, you can see we also have a chance of showers with a high of 47 degrees. Taking a look into international news, you can see Hurricane Willa is making an impact into Mexico and is a strong Category 3 hurricane with gusts up to 150 miles per hour. Taking a look back into our area, you can see that we are supposed to be in the mid to upper 40s with a pleasant week shaping up into the rest of the week. But this weekend, you're supposed to see some showers lingering around with highs in the mid to upper 40s. But we're also supposed to have a pleasant week Monday and Tuesday with highs close to 50, but overall a pleasant week with no rain. Coming up after the break, more news and sports. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Welcome to Understood.org, a free online resource for parents of kids with learning and attention issues, with personalized recommendations, tools, and daily access to experts to help your child thrive. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Guys, I don't feel so good. Shouldn't have had that chili for lunch.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. If there is no winner for tonight's Mega Millions jackpot, the $1.6 billion current draw will be sent to Friday's reading, increasing the total winnings to $2 billion. No one has won the Mega Millions jackpot since July 24th, when the winner took home $543. The Mega Millions jackpot is sold in 44 states, including the District of Columbia and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
The leader of an Iowa Christian group who burned several LGBTQ library books called them shameful and wicked. Now local authorities may be looking into the incident. Jacob Russo reports.
In a video posted by an Ocheyedan-based Christian group called Rescue the Perishing, group leader Paul Dorr burned several LGBTQ books he had checked out from the Orange City Public Library. He calls them shameful and wicked.
Continuing my 25-year stand for Christ, I cannot stand by and let the shameful adults there at the Orange City Library Board bring the next group of little children into their foul sexual reality without a firm resistance.
Paul Dorr burned 4 books supporting the LGBTQ community. The library has faced criticism in the past from Christian groups for having these books.
That one won't be going to the children anymore.
Steve Marr owns a coffee shop in Orange City and supports the LGBTQ community. He says he believes communities like Orange City should be built on supporting every single citizen.
I think it's also important to remember that we all have an individual responsibility as well as a community responsibility to lift up people who are often excluded, ostracized, and marginalized in our community.
As for the library, they can't say for sure those books belong to them, but they do have policies in place regarding damaged or destroyed books.
We do have the patron pay to replace those materials. Our policy does state that if the letters and the certified letter get no response, then the library director may contact law enforcement or the county attorney.
I reached out to the Orange City Police Department, but I was told they couldn't comment on the situation as it is an ongoing investigation into the destruction of public property. In Orange City, Jacob Russo, KCAU 9 News.
Paul Dorr could be charged with destruction of public property for his actions.
According to a statement from the New Jersey Department of Health, 6 children have died due to the adenovirus in the Oswego Center of Nursing and Rehabilitation in Haskell, New Jersey. 12 pediatric residents have also fallen ill due to the adenovirus. The health department has ordered the Oswego Center to not admit patients until the outbreak has contained. A team from the health department found that there is a lack of hand washing at the facility. Although adenoviruses are typically not life-threatening, they can, however, become more dangerous for those with weakened immune systems.
According to CNN, retired Justice Sandra Day O'Connor revealed in a letter she has been diagnosed with dementia. During her retirement, O'Connor became an advocate for Alzheimer's disease and launched iCivics, a website dedicated to encouraging young people to learn civics. O'Connor was nominated to the bench by President Ronald Reagan as the first female court justice in 1981. In her letter, O'Connor says she will continue to live in Phoenix, Arizona, surrounded by her friends and family.
Hurricane Willa is approaching the Pacific coast of Mexico as a Category 3 storm. This life-threatening storm will bombard the coast with violent winds and a harsh downpour. Despite being partially weakened, Willa is projected to wreak massive damage as it rips through Mexico. Willa's strongest winds boasted a powerful 160 miles per hour, but has since been recorded at 130 miles per hour. Willa is reported to also bring large and destructive waves along Mexico's southwest and central coastlines, whipping up strong riptides for the southern coastline of Baja California. Willa is on the path to be one of the strongest hurricanes to hit the Pacific coast of Mexico.
The caravan carrying 7,000 immigrants is pausing their trip to pay respects for the Honduran migrant who died yesterday after falling from a vehicle. The mobile medical truck arrived in the Mexican town of Chiapas to provide assistance to the migrants in the caravan. Portable toilets were set up for the migrants because there are no bathrooms on the caravan. The group of migrants is still over 1,000 miles from crossing the U.S. border.
President Trump says whomever is responsible for the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi should be in trouble. The Washington Post journalist died at the Saudi Arabia's consulate in Turkey, but President Trump says Saudi Arabia has been a great ally to the United States. Kelly Smoot is in Washington with the latest on this developing story.
Our administration is determined to use all means at our disposal to get to the bottom of it.
In Washington, the Trump administration actively questioning Saudi Arabia's claim that Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi was accidentally killed during a fight at the Saudi consulate in Turkey.
The cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups.
Sending CIA Director Gina Haspel to Turkey to review the investigation and discussing the incident in a meeting between U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Monday. Meanwhile, in Turkey, where Khashoggi's killing occurred, authorities continue their investigation and the search for his body. President Erdogan, calling it a, quote, ferocious and premeditated murder, asked for the suspects in the case to be extradited to Turkey.
I'm calling on the King of Saudi Arabia and the highest level of the Saudi administration. The incident has occurred in Istanbul, so this team of 15 people should be tried in Istanbul.
Saudi Arabia's king and crown prince met with members of Khashoggi's family Tuesday ahead of the start of the Riyadh Future Investment Initiative, known as Davos in the Desert. The investor conference has been overshadowed by Khashoggi's death. Dozens of businesses and government leaders from around the world, including the CEOs of JP Morgan, Uber, and the chairman of Ford, bowed out of the event due to mounting questions about the Saudi government's role in the killing. In Washington, I'm Kelly Smoot reporting.
Jamal Khashoggi was last seen 3 weeks ago after he entered the Saudi Arabia consulate in Istanbul and never came out. Coming up, Mike Morano has the latest updates in sports.
You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
When you are in space, you can't run down to the store to buy parts. You have to improvise with what you have on your mission. Making is when there is something new that was not in existence at the beginning of the day. Okay. It's an incredible sense of accomplishment when you have made something. That's why I make. Now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Michael Moreno bringing your sports update. With the 5-7 record going into their final weekend, reporter Aidan Donnellan gives us some insight on how the men's soccer team performed, along with their expectations for the final stretch of the season.
I'm from Liverpool, New York, just outside Syracuse.
This is Caleb Munsky, freshman defender for the Oswego boys soccer team, who tells us how his teammates have helped him with the transition from high school to college.
No, I think they really made it easy. Even the fact that I had a brother on the team made it easy, but they're all very friendly. The hardest part was the transition soccer-wise from high school to college. It's different. Gotcha. But getting along with all the guys, no, they made it super easy.
With stepping up big as a defender this season, Munsky also gives his expectations for the last 2 games of the season.
We're hoping to win out. If we do, it puts us in a good shot to make the postseason play. So this week we're taking it very seriously, even with the weather conditions. Now, but we're just going to go out there and play the best soccer we have this season.
Head coach Dan Kane talks about some of his values he treasures as a coach and what he expects out of his players each and every night.
I try hard not to take myself too seriously, but I take the job I do very seriously. So we put a lot of preparation and time and thought into the things that we do, and we expect the same out of the guys.
Coach Kane also talks about his expectations for the last stretch of the season and this upcoming weekend.
Yep, I think we've been playing our best soccer of the year these last couple of weeks. We had a couple bad breaks, and I think we're going to continue to play at a really, really high level, and we expect to get 6 points.
Reporting from Laker Turf, this is Aidan Donnellan from WTOP 10.
Needing a win against Geneseo, the Lakers failed to score at the game ending in a tie, eliminating themselves from playoff contention. The State University of New York Athletic Conference has selected Oswego men's soccer goalie Brian Terra as Defensive Athlete of the Week and Miranda Frascatori as its Women's Diver of the Week. Terra had 2 penalty shot saves late in the game as the men's defeated the Brockport by a score of 2-1. Frascatori placed first in the 1-meter dive in Oneonta on Saturday with a score of 222.70, also placed in second in the 3-meter dive. Now moving over to swimming, the men's swimming and diving team claimed their first win of the season on Saturday. Junior Luis Perez obtained 2 individual wins and claimed the 200-yard medley with a time of 2 minutes and 7 seconds and the 100-yard backstroke with a time of 56.42 seconds. Oswego will return to the pool on Saturday as it hosts the Well College Express at Laker Pool. Moving over to football, the Oakland Raiders continue their complete rebuild on the team, as first-round pick wide receiver Amari Cooper was traded to the Dallas Cowboys yesterday for a first-round pick. Amari Cooper currently ranks 4th worst in drops percentage and was taken out of the game in his last game with the Raiders as he was diagnosed with a concussion, and is still undetermined if he will make his Cowboys debut against the Tennessee Titans. Now we head over to Los Angeles, where the Lakers have been anything but showtime. For what many believe to be a finals contention year, the Lakers have started off this season on the wrong foot, whether it be starting off the season 0-3 after losing a close game against the San Antonio Spurs in overtime, or having to deal with drama between them and the Houston Rockets. This is the first time for LeBron James' career that his team has started off 0-3 since 2004. Now we head over to the New York Knicks as they face off against the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo will be looking to continue his dominance against the New York Knicks, as the Bucks are currently 4-0 against their last 4 games against the New York Knicks. Tip-off here, Eric Bledsoe gets the ball, and he's looking for somebody to go it to. And who else better to look for Giannis? He slams one down here to give the Bucks the quick lead here early in the first quarter. Bucks fans are loving that one. Now, head over now, Giannis with the ball again, looking for someone open, but he says he'll just take it himself. He gets the quick 2 points. Late in the first quarter, Bucks still have the lead, up by 8. Now, a player to watch out for the rest of the season and for this game is Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton had 30 points and 15 rebounds here for the Milwaukee Bucks, showing that he is not the only person the Bucks need to look for to go for this playoff contention. Now we head to the third quarter here. Trey Burke having himself a game here at 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's taken this one for the N1, and you can count that as the Knicks look to bounce back here and try to take the lead. Now down by 4. Trey Burke again looking to take it himself. He lays this one down here. The Knicks now cut the lead to only 2 late in the game. Now we head to the fourth quarter. Now Giannis Antetokounmpo again looking to take it himself. He slams one down here, continuing his dominance against the New York Knicks. Now we look now to Chris Middleton here, trying to notch the game here for the Milwaukee Bucks late in the fourth. 2 minutes left. He's just going to take this one for the quick dagger to give the Bucks the 6-point lead late, and he's not done yet. Milwaukee Bucks passing the ball around here, looking for Chris Middleton here. Is he double covered? Will he make it? Of course he will. He keeps dominating the Knicks here as the Bucks get the dagger and continue their undefeated season as they start 3-0 and stretch their streak against the New York Knicks to 5-0.
Wow. Well, that last dunk was just mind-blowing.
Too much to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Tell Me About It.
Thank you for watching, and have a great night, everyone.
It's taste, not toast.
Hi, I'm Anthony Citron, and for one view a day, you can help producers at WTOP get the recognition they deserve for their work. For just 30 minutes a day, you can help these students make sure their work does not go unnoticed. Please, click the link below and help these students get the recognition they deserve. All it takes is one view a day.